Hey guys, welcome back. We are here today to talk more about the All That Glitters series. Now, what is the All That Glitters series? I will include a link up there to the last video that I did, which was on the Proto Pasta glitter, which kind of started this whole thing. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about all of the glitter filaments that I could possibly get my hands on. And the first one, like I said, was Proto Pasta. This one, we are going to be talking about some Fillamentum. So if you're interested in seeing what I have to say about Fillamentum's glittery filaments, then keep watching. So we have 4 sets of filament here. Starting here, we're going to talk about the Rapunzel Silver, the Gold Happens, the Vertigo Gray, and the Pearl Dark Blue. All of these have a little bit of glitter in them. It is not an insane amount of glitter, but you definitely see a sparkle in it more than you would with just a typical metallic type filament. The one where I think it is the most noticeable is the Vertigo Gray, and that is because the filament is a dark gray and the fleck is a silver fleck. I hope that's coming off on camera. It's a super, super pretty filament and it prints freaking amazing. All of these printed really well the first time out. I didn't have any failed prints on any of them. Of all of them though, I would say the Vertigo Gray probably printed the nicest and the easiest from the start. The next I'd say is probably actually, well, the gold and silver are kind of tied. The gold definitely looks a little more iridescent to it. It does definitely have a little bit of a gold fleck to it. Nothing like the last one that we saw. It's a little more subdued, but it really does give that true gold look that you would be looking for if you wanted a gold filament. Same goes for the silver. It's not a flat silver. It is definitely more of a typical shiny sparkly silver, which is really nice. It's not overdone, and like I said, it printed amazingly well. Of all of them, I think this one printed I don't want to say the worst because this is by no means bad, but had a little bit of issues, and that was trying to figure out the temperature settings. I did run my temperature test on it, but the temperature test did not go high enough. So the new temperature tower I've been using is a little bit taller and it has room for 2 more settings of temperatures, which allows me to test a little bit more. It's also not quite as bulky, so that it prints a little bit faster. Doing that has definitely helped because I was able to find out that I was printing at a little bit higher of a temperature than I really wanted when it came to the silver. The blue was the most surprising for me. The blue, when you first look at it, and it probably isn't really coming off on camera very well. I will try to get a good picture of it. But the best way I can describe this filament is it looks like a metallic painted car, like that shimmery fleck that you get in metallic paints. That's what you see when you look at this, particularly in the sun. It's super, super pretty, and it's got a nice depth and color. I absolutely love this one. So along with printing the unicorns, I also did the test that I had spoken about last time, and I printed both of these because this one prints standing up and this one prints laying down, and that allows you to tell a whole lot about the glitter filaments and how they're going to be printed best. Now, most of these printed really well on the standing up versions. You got a lot more depth and color, and you got to see a lot more of the reflect in it when it was standing up. When it was laying flat, you didn't see quite as much. And even if I flip these over to the absolutely flat side of things, you still barely see the glitter with the exception of the Vertigo Gray. The rest of them, you kind of see that there's a little bit of a shimmer there, but you don't actually see the glitter. You do, however, on the pieces that are standing upright. So it does kind of lend you to see that these might be better on more of an upright type of print. Lastly, we printed these little narwhals, and these are super cute. So some of this filament was sent to me by Spanner Hands. Some of it was sent to me by Fillamentum. Huge thanks to both of them for sending these to me to test out and to include in the All That Glitters series. Overall, these have been a whole lot of fun to print with. They did use my standard PLA settings with one exception, and that was the temperature. Most of them printed at a much lower temperature than I'm used to on most of my machines. Everything printed at 195 with the exception of the Vertigo Gray. The Vertigo Gray printed at 205 instead. So keep that in mind when printing. It seems like the Vertigo Gray tends to do better at a hotter temperature. The rest of them printed amazingly well at 195. Overall, huge fan of this filament. I have already bought a spool of the Rapunzel Silver after testing these out, and I'm sure I will be buying a full spool of the Pearl Blue at some point as well. The other two were sent to me by Spanner Hands, and he did send me a full spool of each. So huge thanks to them. I hope that was helpful for you guys, or that you found it useful, entertaining, exciting, anything like that. I know that I am absolutely loving these filaments. Overall, all of them printed absolutely fabulous, and really, I was kind of surprised at how consistent they all were. As I've mentioned in a previous video, being in the US and it being a European company, it does make things a little bit difficult in terms of ordering. If you're going to be buying just a single spool, I would definitely recommend checking out Amazon or Filament One. If you are interested in buying more than one spool, I would definitely check out spannerhands.co.uk. The pricing on theirs is less, and the shipping is definitely reasonable as long as you're buying a minimum of 2 spools. So depending on what you're interested in, you can check out any of those locations. And if you have any questions, definitely leave them in the comments below and I will check them out as soon as I can. If you are liking this series, please let me know in the comments below and I will definitely keep it up. I do have a couple more. I think the next that we will be doing will be Filament PM. The 3 that they sent me are all ABS-Ts, so that'll be kind of fun to play around with. Thanks again for watching, and huge thank you to all of my patrons over at Patreon. I could not do videos like this without your support. It absolutely means the world to me. You guys are the best. That's really all I have for you guys today. I hope you have an awesome rest of your weekend, and I will see you guys again next time.